Earth is a nursery where the seed of the future stars and future universes and life of galaxies more or less comes to depend partially from the seeds from the, let's say, the tulips. The whole universe is not just one flower, just the tulips. There are some roses, some other flowers, honeysuckles, and the rest we have on the earth. So there are other nurseries in the universe which create that seed of soul. Mitra is not the only citizens of the universe. Mitra is one of it. It's like when you live in a city, you don't fall in love with every woman on the street. You fall in love with one. And this is what Earth is, has been, and be. But the interesting point for us, which is intriguing if you have not understood, is going to hit you very hard if you understand. And then you have to understand what's the next. As we said, Earth is the nursery. It could be seed of a star, it could be seed of a galaxy, the soul of the man who lives this planet, or it could be a dust in the way we see cosmic dust in the galaxies and in solar systems, floating around till finding somewhere to become that star, that planet, or become part of it. But now as a humans, you have a dilemma. Because we have not reached a part of the souls which left this planet billions of years ago, from the first souls which left this planet, they became a seed, some of them in the universe, and those seeds gathered enough energies as a speck of energy, beginning the seed of a, let's say, a star. Now they have created planetary system in them, which in essence comes from the soul of the man, or created things from this planet billions of years ago. Now the technology of the man has reached to be able to travel with the speed of soul, not the speed of light. And one of you, a bunch of you, travel the span of the universe and land on one of the planets which was created from the soul of the man from this planet itself millions of years ago. There are a number of things that will come to be understood, and it'll be part of the space research in years to come, is to diagnose from the field of strength, from the behavior, from the psychosomatic of the solar system or a galaxy or a universe, if the seed was that from tulips or from Earth. And would the future mankind, now that has access to travel with the speed of the soul, will come to recognize when it lands on such a system, would the system, as it was created out of the planetary structure of Earth, would have hydrogen as its base? Would it carry water, because through the water it absorbed most of the energies of the universe with it? 90%, 95% of the weight of the man is water. So it gives us a new dimension in the space technology. The way that we thought we are the only planet in the universe and the only solar system with planetary system, And now in the past decade or so, the scientists are telling us every day they are finding new stars within the system, and the numbers are increasing rapidly. Would our scientists come to the point that now we found this planetary system, now we found this solar system, and in these solar systems we find maybe possibly life like Earth, or creation of the water which leads to creation of life? Did this star, did this solar system, did this galaxy came from the soul of the created things on this planet millions of years ago? And in a way, as it was created out of, will create out of itself the same characteristics. Then it comes for our scientists to assess, when we come to a solar system, when we come to a structure which now our scientists tell us has water in it, has conditions of life in it, the question mark for man is to answer, did the seed of this star came from Earth? And would man be able to live a life near to life on Earth, on these systems? So can we find solar systems, structures which have similar life as Earth? Putting aside the psychological pattern aside, putting the coincidences that the energies can come together to create possibly life on, same as life on the Earth, is the soul of the solar system from Earth? Did one of us was so devoted, so servitude, does not matter if you're a dog or a cat or a man, that led to be and became the seed and replicated what was on Earth? When you buy tulips, you don't throw it away. When it finishes the cycle of life, you hold it, you look after it, and you plant it next season to give new flowers. So the life comes to this point. Now that the space technology is opening up, not with a rocket and what I call firework, but the knowledge and science of the creation, magnetic fields, plasmatic motion, gravitational field systems, and man is good in making tools to measure things and to be replicating it, then it comes, would we find systems which have a life like Earth? And would we in the future, with our knowledge, confirm, and in a way through the strength of the fields of the solar system of it, or whatever, the seed connection with Earth? In a way then we see how the souls of this planet, this greenhouse, are fed and become that star, the galaxy, the solar system, or a speck of dust in galaxies. Those are the ones which in holy books they call them the hell. Nothing but just the dust. And is heaven that you become that seed that gives that flower of the galaxies and the universes and new life? Then you understand why the correction had to be done on this planet to stop the killing, because now we see some problems in the universe where the nursery did not clean up the infectious disease of killing. And we come to sort it out. To you is 6,000 years from Moses and 2,000 years from Christ and the rest of it. But in fact, it's a few seconds, milliseconds, fraction of the milliseconds in the work of the universe. So what to you, thousands of years to get here, to us outside is just walk in the park. even though to you is very important. It's like looking at the ant colony and seeing there's something the ants cannot cross, or because of it they do funny things, and you correct it and the ants go on the straight path. So in a way, to you it's just passing a few milliseconds life of an ant, but the ant is his life, and it could be that day of his life, the only day which lives. So now you understand how important it is to get things sorted in this greenhouse. Because this greenhouse, if it's wrong, now that the seeds of the creation of the other planetary star systems from the seeds which came from here are growing, we have to see to get rid of this infection. Otherwise, we'll have more problem in the future when those seeds, stars and planetary start creating life, and then the mayhem as we see, we come to clean up. But if you understood this, now it means we can go to the soul planet from the earth. Then we find a lot of common denominators in living. We find a lot of common denominators in the soul of what we call the knowledge, what is planetary. We feel at home because it came from home.